Speaking freedom. Speaking freedom. Giving you the answers to be free. Be free. Be free. 'Cause we're speaking freedom.
Now, why do I say it's a magnetic force? The other day, I took apart a washer and dryer. And when I didn't take apart the dryer. I just took apart the washer. Let me not over-exaggerate and it be totally not the truth. My washer went out. When my washer went out, maybe you don't. If you don't know, I'm Kaci. I like to fix stuff. I do not think I'm a man. I don't want to be a man. I'm just good with my hands. I am capable of solving problems. Solving problems is fixing stuff. At the end of the day, I try to fix things. Whether it be lives, whether it be if it's something in the car that I believe that I'm capable of fixing, I'll try to fix it. So when my washer broke, stopped spinning, I decided to try to fix it. Now, washer's heavy. I'm trying to move it. I'm inching it, like walking it up, like really hurt myself real bad, just doing too much, honestly. But after I was able to move it up a little bit and get to the back of the washer, I literally took the back off, and there is a big magnetic drum, or like a donut shaped thing that goes on the back of your washer. So within that though, it's like screwed on so that it doesn't come off, because even though it's a magnet and it's not designed to come off, anything could intercept and make it dislodge. So it's a screw there. So you have to take a hammer, you have to just get a socket wrench, you have to beat the screw out of the thing. Now, this is not recording about fixing a washer. In the previous recording, in which this should be edited together, I was speaking of how we are connected to this earth through a magnetic pull that we know as gravity, but it's something within us that magnetically keeps us on this planet, on this earth, like embedded in this earth. We can jump up, but we coming back down. Unless we use something to intercept the barrier within us, which is probably the blood flow that allows for us to be magnetically drawn to the earth. The heat within our body that's produced, that our blood and stuff produces. When you're anemic, that means your blood is low. So if you are not anemic, that means that when you're anemic, you stay cold because your blood is low. But when your blood is regular, then you are warm. You have regular body heat, normal body heat. Well, that body heat is whatever the magnetic pull that connects us to this earth with the heat that's in the middle of the earth. And the sun keeps it balanced. I don't know how it all works in totality, but the greenery that we see on the planet is what creates the oxygen and the air that we breathe. And the more greenery we have, the more it creates the ozone layer. The ozone layer is the layer that keeps this planet intact. It's the magnetic force that's connected to this planet. And the sun is a magnetic force also. And so all of these planets have some type of magnetic field that's connected to the sun. And the heat is the magnetic pull. I don't know what's within the heat that makes it the magnetic pull, but it's formed around the heat. The heat is the biggest thing. So that's why when you see things about going into space, you always see once it reaches the atmosphere, it breaks that atmosphere, it freezes if it's not the right type of thing. Okay, so just saying all that to say, so the magnetic pull that you have within your body is the magnetic pull that's that the sun uses the core of the earth to keep its distance, but the ozone layer is created from the mist and the air and the fumes from the trees, basically. So the fumes from the trees help us breathe. And because the fumes from the trees help us breathe, we have the ozone layer. And the more trees we have, the better the ozone layer, the more, the thicker the barrier is between the earth and the sun. So a lot of saving the planet is trees and greenery, because we need the trees and greenery in order to keep the threshold of the ozone layer thick enough to protect the world from the sun, the earth from the sun, in a way that allows humans to be able to live here. Now, what's being done is good for humans, because humans are capable of living in different atmospheres. However, it will slowly but surely kill off the animals that need that were created, that were birthed in a thicker ozoned atmosphere. So as the air becomes less good for us, as we create more things that diminishes our environment, and it's not just global warming is more of global warming is real, because our globe, our earth, is warmed at its core. The core of it is warmed, but it gets its strength from the sun, and without the sun, we wouldn't be able to survive on this planet. But in order for the sun to allow us to survive on this planet, we also need the trees. Now, this had nothing to do with global warming. Global warming. I was really just describing how we are magnetically connected to the planet through the heat that is created within our bloodstream. It's the iron. Oh gosh. The iron within our blood is what keeps us connected to the heat mechanism of the magnetic pull that works this. So when I took the back of the washer off, and I took the socket wrench and loosen up the bolt to take the magnetic drum off of the back of the washer so that I could see if it was something there that was messing up, I had to pull it. Now, I think the dang on magnet on the back of the washer is probably what makes the washer heavy, because the thing weighed about 50 pounds by itself. So I pull it off, and it reminded me of how we are stuck to this planet through the iron of our through the iron in our blood, which that's it's deep, because the iron in our blood would then be what allows us to, one, have body heat, but connect to the planet. And as we lose blood, our soul lose the ability to connect to the planet, because we are no longer connected to what keeps us here. the blood that we have is the entire basis of life. So when a lot of times when we hear people talk about the blood of Jesus, it's not really like some new type of blood. The blood is the blood that we have running through our veins.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kaci. Not your typical clinical doctor. I am an ordained minister, but not your typical minister. I am also a certified life coach, love coach, sex coach, solution focused coach, transformation coach, and more. I have a whole lot of information that I would like to help you grow with. And I hope that soon I can help you be the best you that you can be. Confidence, spirituality, and purpose. That's wholeness, complete.
And for whatever reason, this started a new recording, but I'm kind of glad that it did, because this is getting kind of beyond what I was talking about as far as us being guides. But it will make sense in relation to it. As I'm sitting here discussing this, in hopes that someone will listen to it, and I'm talking aloud, describing what I know, and how the body works for the most part, describing what makes sense, what I know, how magnets work, which makes me understand how the body works. So basically, from the concept that's coming to my mind at this time, the iron within our blood is really what keeps us here. And that's why our blood is so strong. It's not like, that's why we are able to be healed. That's why it's like the immune system. So when your blood is thrown off by disease, by sickness, it's like lowering the iron and the natural things in your body that has been created probably by man or that is now understood by man, that allows us to be here. So when we think of the blood, we give this notation that the blood of Jesus is something outside of ourselves. And the blood of Jesus is simply the blood that runs through your body. Now, this is a thought process and a concept that I have said before, not realizing or not recording or not having it at this moment to reflect on, that literally this blood is the same blood, and people are so spiritual about what it means when you say the blood that they totally disregard that we all have blood. And the blood type that we have is important, but it also has indication about who we are as a person, despite our DNA, despite our whatever genetic coding we have. Our blood type is something important. It has something to do with our souls and our beings being on this planet, because you can be born into a relative family, meaning your parents could be a different blood type, and then you get a whole different blood type. So the blood type that we have, I believe it demonstrates something about our souls. It may be the old soul, the soul system, the aging of the soul process, or something in that nature. But it definitely has a lot of significance, more significance than we've been known to give it. Probably, really, honestly, because of lack of clarity, unwillingness to be able to see or simply because we've been conditioned to think that the blood of Jesus, or there's a force outside of ourselves that's more powerful than who we are, being in the exact image of the source that we believe we come from. So with that being said, we are more powerful than we've been trained to realize that we are. Now, it's making me believe that I understand why the black race is so bottlenecked and stifled, because if we knew how powerful we are in the ability to absorb the melanin from the sun, that allows, it's like it strengthens us. In reality, if there was a thing as vampires would be those that are burned by the sun, those who are incapable of handling the heat and the sun rays. And then those that are not burned by the sun, they are more powerful for whatever being. So I'm not sure if those that are incapable of handling the sun are from this planet, or if they are creatures that have become. Now, it's crazy because you think about life and the evolution of people. And when I think about different documentaries on different people that say that we are all human beings, but we are literally not all the same. That's why we all had different blood types. And I'm not talking about on a personality level, but on a blood type level. And I believe that the planets play a bigger portion into it than we give allowance. But religion stifles our ability to understand how powerful we are. Religion really stifles our ability to see our greatness in true form, because instead of recognizing that we have this blood in our veins that connects us to this planet in a way that other beings are not always connected to this planet. So it's really deep, because we absorb the sun in a way that some people cannot absorb the sun. And that means that sun makes us more powerful. It charges us. It recharges us in a way that is dominant. But if we knew how dominant we were, without any guidance, without any conditioning to handle strength, because we've been, the culture has been dry erased, whitewashed of the reality of how powerful we are as a people. Just being able to absorb the sunlight and the iron in our bodies probably being more potent, and then it makes me understand why little black kids' organs might be probably harvested the most, because our souls are richer based on the content of the blood, based on the ability to absorb the sun, which affects the strength of the iron in our blood. Vitamin D, I'm sure, goes back to a lot more than we've been made aware of. And in order to stifle that, see, people that cannot absorb the sun, Lord, they have to find a way to supplement the things that we naturally obtain. people that are not really strong, they have to belittle other people so that they can accept the fact that they are not as naturally able. But I do not believe that skin color alone limits it. But I can tell you one thing: the ability to be able to, absorb the sun while others are burned by it is a very powerful thing when you think about the iron in your blood and how the iron connects you to the core of this planet and the heat in this planet. So that's why when a person passes away, they feel cold, because that blood, that iron, that connection to the soul of the earth has been dislodged. Something has broken that connection. So if right now, if you were to get a magnet, I have a magnet in my office, but when I do the presentation or I do a green screen or whatever visual I will use for this, if you get a magnet and you put two things that's magnetically drawn together, the only thing that can pull that apart is by force or by the loss of the strength of one of the magnetic connections. So when you lose blood, when your blood stops pumping, when the energetic field within your body stops working, it disconnects you from the core of the planet, from the soul of the earth. This earth has a soul. Everything that we see is living, breathing organism called earth. It's from the core soul of this earth that we have a magnetic connection. Now, I'm going to try to do more research about this topic, but I was saying that originally to speak of how powerful we are as human beings, how powerful we are by being willing to accept new things, being willing to be selfless, being willing to see ourselves as God created us versus as we've been designed to belittle ourselves to. Now, this is going to be powerful whenever I am able to share it. Now, I do plan on, it is 9:34 in the Awakening on July the 15th of 2019. I believe that this is probably one of the most profound things that I've recorded thus far for content. But I believe that I've shared some of the thought process about it. It's just been a long haul coming back to myself and being strengthened again to a state that I once was. But I totally understand the concept of life on this planet, and technically it would be a form of hell, based on what we know hell to be. Now, what I plan to do after this recording is over is to go look up some things about the core of this planet, about iron, and even the term hell, and get a better definition for it so that I can get a little bit of understanding, because to be completely and totally honest, this is deep. And I can understand why we've been made not to be aware of who we are. The only thing that I don't understand is those that are able to be charged of the light are different than those that are not. And I need to get clarity and understanding of how different we are. And but I know why we are despised, because we are the closest thing to God that you can get on this planet.
Speaking Freedom presents Good Head Group, providing advanced spiritual studies and personal developmental insight. Brought to you by Love Gang and Speaking Freedom. We look forward to helping you grow in all the areas of your life. We hope that you find all the information needed for your growth. God bless. Please listen to all disclaimers provided. If you are currently under physician's care, please maintain that relationship. This is not intended to stop your current treatment plan. If you need physician care, please seek out medical attention. Please note, all results are based on the individual's ability to adapt and adjust to any given environment and situation. We are not responsible for your results at Speaking Freedom. The life enhancement coaches at Speaking Freedom provide information to help you grow. You are responsible for maintaining that growth, taking on and then applying the information to your individual life as you deem needed and necessary. This may contain and explain explicit content. Please use parental discretion. For best results, you will need an open mind, the ability to research, and a balanced lifestyle.
Please join us daily for your inspiration and motivation.
We have the entire world to offer you at your fingertips. Your life enhancement coaching specialist. Thank you for choosing us to assist you in accomplishing your personal and professional goals. And have a beautiful day. In love, we trust. This is brought to you by Good Head Group, Love Gang, and Speaking Freedom. We thank God for you, and we love you.